Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to all of you. Hope you are very well with your friends and family. I'm MF Zaman, your host. So today I would like to invite all of you, and I invited a very special guest in my event. And every time, what is the motive behind this my show? Because we want to make a change. Sometimes we have number of people in our society, in the community, who's doing really amazing work for the society, for the community. So what we try to do, we try to encourage them, we try to show them, and it's going to be inspire all of us to make a change. So I want to give a little bit the introduction about my guest. He's living in the UK nearly 50 years. He came to this country as a young man. He was a businessman. He had a service in the local council. He was a businessman, but recently, in the last year actually, he became the mayor of the Croydon, and his name is the councillor Humayun Kabir. So today, I would like to invite the former mayor of the Croydon, Councillor Humayun Kabir.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum and good
alaikum.
evening to everyone.
Yeah, how are you, bhai? Everything is okay?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, we are good. Everything is fine. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for time. I know you were a bit relaxed after 1 year. Last year we were very busy, so we have enough time to listen you actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in my show, actually, most of the time we talk, but we don't want to listen. But this show is we give you more time to you. We want to listen you, your journey, your achievement, and I hope it will going to be really inspire all of us. So thanks again for your time. So the main thing is we know that you were living in this country a number of years. You have done lots of things. As a young man, you had a service in the council. You have a business, and you joined in the politics. You became a councillor, and then you became a mayor of Croydon. But obviously, it was never easy. It was you have a lots of challenge. So that's why we want to start from the back. So obviously, once you came to this country with your parents in that time, actually, I think it's maybe 1970s, those time. So we want to know about your challenges that time, about your young life, while you came, what kind of difficulties, challenges you had faced, and how you overcome. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. I came to this country in 1972 after independence of Bangladesh in August. So I came in August. And when I came, I had a very funny age because um, uh, like just between 15 to 16. So I was not really fitting in a secondary school. By the time you have a placement, you'll be 16. Anyway, so my first priority was to learn English and integrate in the society. So I went to night college, then I went to college, and then started learning English. And then first priority was because I come from a medium-sized family. I started work when I was 18 to make money for my family, to support my family, support my dad. And then after a year and a half, I opened my first business because when I started work, my father said, no, I don't need your money. You keep them in bank, and you should be able to start business in near future. So after a year and a half, I had a few thousand pounds. My family and my father put some more, and I came to, and that is year 1977. I came to Croydon to open my first business, a takeaway, and all those time it's called Golden Curry. That's how I started my journey in Croydon. Then naturally, after many years, I felt like there was something was missing in me, that I was not projecting my full potential. So when my first child was born, um, I decided to go back to study. And I did 1 year access course, and then I studied for 3 years doing BEds in Thames Polytechnic. And after that, I got a job in Tower Hamlets as a teacher supporting young people. And that's how I came to really learn more about the community, the wider community. So that's my beginning of the journey. And since then, uh, yeah, to make it shorter, after 10 years, maybe in 1992, I joined the Labour Party. And by 2000, I think it was 8, I became a councillor in Croydon. And that's how, journey is moving forward. And last year, I became the mayor of Croydon. That is in a
That's
nutshell, but we are going to break those parts. You are going to do that, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is really fantastic, and obviously, we would say this is not end. You will go further in future. But one thing, as an immigrant, while you came and you said this is the
Yes,
good thing, like you pursue yourself
hope
to
so.
learn English and integrate the community. But what is the biggest challenge for you? And I think your dad he was a teacher also. I think you had a quite supportive family and the parents as well. So what was the biggest challenge you had in
That's right.
70s, 80s?
Yeah, well, racism was one of them. When I came, I settled in Brick Lane, the well-known Tar Hamlets Brick Lane. And I have seen in my own eyes skinhead people rampaging Brick Lane in one side, the other side, the crowd of Bangladeshi youth. And I was one of them. I have seen the journey and the journey and the fight against racism when Al-Tabali was murdered a few years later from that time. We were demonstrating and asking for right, asking for recognition, and asking for safety, basically. Yeah, and then yes, and that's a big learning curve for me as a young person, coming back from Bangladesh, thinking coming to a very welcoming country, but then again, you see the other side, the side that you really don't want to see, and National Front and all that, But it became part and parcel of life, because you can't help it, but you have to fight it. And I took opportunity to do whatever I can as a young person who is new into this country, but still engaging with the wider community. And then realize that we have to work very hard. Yeah, I like your program because it's called "Let's Talk to Make a Change,"
Okay.
and that's what I am here. That's what I advocate to my younger generation, to my fellow community, to wider community. Whoever I meet, I encourage people to do something different, something better, and something more. So I hope through this interview, my invitation will be to all my ambassadors. When I became mayor, I met about 100 young people. Specifically, I appointed them as my ambassadors. They were helping me to do things, to bring change, to bring activities, and their age range start from 15 to most likely 70 plus or 70, because I don't ask their age, but and they come with a lot of experience, and they talk about the changes, I talk about the changes. And that is the reason why I had to take 5 themes, so we can talk about them, we can address them, and bring some changes.
Yeah, we'll come back.
As you
We'll come
Yeah.
back there later. But obviously, we know that you said you involved with your own business, and same time you work for the councils. And that time, I would say like the 20, 30 years back, it was have on all the services, especially for the Bengali and other Asian community. And we know that England is always most welcoming countries, but you had seen both sides of the coin, which we haven't seen, or the young generation actually. So in that time, and how do you with this time and that time?
Well, the difference between this time and that time was, at that time I was a young person, uh, learning, working, and facing a lot of difficulties. For example, when I started the business, I knocked about three different banks for loan, and had no success. Yeah, had difficulties, getting the loans and all that. Only few years later, they were knocking me when I established myself. Yeah, I remember my bank manager visiting my house and having a lunch with me and trying to encouraging me to open an account with their bank. So that's how change within say 10 years. Yeah, so that's net, that's how things are. You have to be in a certain position, to get acknowledgement from, if you are running a business, then you have to establish your business first, and then you will see the differences. So hard life, smooth life, and then it become a mixed
Now
of
is retired
everything,
life. Now is retired life or not yet?
Yes, it's a kind of semi-retired, because a politician can never become a retired person, because it's always there are so many things to do. So I'm working very closely with my constituents, my wards member, and day-to-day basis, I'm trying to do what a councillor should be doing, interacting with their local community and resolving issues, whether it could be minor issues, such as could be a fly tipping, keeping your town clean, to keeping your town in a order of being a good governance, in many ways. So
So
that's how.
this is actually for the all our viewers. What we had heard from me, it was a big challenge for you, but also is a message for our young generations. Actually, most of the time we wait to come and help and push us, but what we had seen yourself, you did hard work, and then you gain lots of things. So it's really the amazing what you have done, and this is the way actually you became successful. And I would say who is going to be are watching today, this is the way they could successful as well. And obviously, you have a family, you have a business and all these things, but how you enter in the politics, especially while you came in this country, you had a, is a new culture, everything is new. You went for the study, you went for the job and business, but how is your journey started into the politics?
Yes, in Croydon, I was running a community organization called Bangladesh Welfare Association. I was the chairman 2 3 times over there. We started this organization because we had our community suffering from lack of housing, difficulties in employment, lack of education, lack of facilities. And as an individual, with our friends circle, we started this organization, and we were helping them to resolve day-to-day issues, and to encourage them to do different things to get a better life. And of course, as a local person, local businessman, as a local community leader, you keep an eye on the politics. And I felt that, as a community leader, as a business person, we should get involved in politics as well. We shouldn't be leaving running the local council or running the country to someone else, while you are able or capable of participating. So that is the reason I was very impressed with Labour Party's, the manifesto, and their, desire to bring equalities, to bring, humanity in the community. and I was very impressed. So I joined the party, and I supported the campaign for first time in 2008 when Malcolm Weeks became the, not 2008, I think around 2000 something, when Malcolm Weeks became the member of parliament in Croydon North. So I got involved in supporting him and in his campaign. And since then, yeah, I supported Labour Party and always be there for doing things locally and in CLP, and that's how I got involved.
Yeah, this really the interesting. But once you became the counselor, do you think like did you think that you had more responsibility? Because most of the time the politician or the counselor, they gave lots of the promise, but once they get in, it's very difficult to catch them.
Yeah,
So
yes,
what
of
is your
course.
commitment and
Once
your
you,
experience with the community that time?
yeah. So when I became a counselor, you need to balance it out between your work with your local constituents and also whatever you can offer in the council. So during that period, before until I became the mayor of Croydon, I sat on planning. Planning interests me. Town. So I was very interested in planning. So I became a member of planning, became vice chair of planning. I became a deputy cabinet member for economy and job, sometime for finance and other portfolio. So I was there always, took additional responsibility. Yeah, and until my colleagues, approached me and asked me if I can take the responsibility of the mayor as a mayor for 2019 and 2020. And after a lot of thoughts, I agreed because I thought this is another opportunity to serve my town, to serve my wider community, and do things that I really wanted to do.
So that is a big actually the inspirations for all of us. You had a dream actually, and you tried your best and keep pushing yourself. This is the way actually you came today in that position. But the main thing is like how you manage as a counselor, as a mayor, as a businessman, and as a family man, because all there it was a big responsibility on your shoulder that time.
Yes, I knew what I am putting myself forward for. I was always, I had my friends, my previous mayors were my friends. So I saw, you know, that lots of engagement and lots of activities, but I thought, look, I'm going to do all those things. Plus, also, I need to have my own vision. What do I want out from my year, mayoral year? So what I did was, uh, I dedicated my time to all the engagements. Plus, I organized and I dedicated some of the responsibility to my colleagues, to my friends, to coordinate things for me. So I'll give you some example. For example, I thought, look, 1 year is a not a big long time to do things, and to achieve significant things, I need help. So straight away, I invited community, saying, if you are interested to support the mayor, just write me a line, and I will make sure that you get a briefing how you can help. And immediately I had received a lot of letter, a lot of interest, and I appointed about 40 to 50 ambassadors. And I I found out their skills. I found out what they can do, and how they can be helpful to achieve my vision. And my vision was to raise good money for 5 charities that I chose. That's number one. And then I wanted to work on some issues, okay, such as in Croydon, I felt that I should be gearing up and make sure that we have a conversation about domestic violence. We should raise awareness to wider community. Yes, people know about it. Yes, there are surveys about it, but is everyone reporting? Is everyone coming forward with to resolve the issues? And I felt there was a gap. There were a number of communities, for various reasons, they don't want to come and report and take services. And I felt that I need to do something about it. So I took one of the theme to do some workshop, some seminar, to raise awareness. So what I did was I found people who are expert on domestic violence or who could be a victim, and we had a big conversation, borough wide.
Because you
I
had number of issues that time, the domestic crime, the abused, and the knife crime, five things. And also the main thing,
exactly.
obviously, thank you very much to you. I had a chance to work with you, and what I had seen actually, you reduce the gap between public and the mayor. Used to be like the mayor is sit down somewhere, and occasionally you will see the mayor, the
That's
mayor.
right.
But that time people they think, oh, he's a mayor, but he's my people, and which is really amazing. And I would say like the other boroughs, they could follow your things, what you had done. So as a successful mayor and the politician, one thing we really want to know that how we encourage our young people into the politics. Obviously, the recent good news, the Hamida Ali, she is from the Bangladeshi background, who became the leader of Labour in the Croydon. But if we compare with other Asian community or African community, we have seen we had not that much people into the local or mainstream politics. There is number of reasons, the family, the community and social things. Sometimes we have a negative thought about the politics. If we go to the politics, we'll be biased. And obviously you have a long career in, as a family man, as a politician, as a business. So what is your message to our young people to get in the politics, please?
Right. My very simple message to young people or even middle-aged people, yeah, come on. Somebody needs to run your council. Somebody needs to run your country. Don't leave it to others if you can contribute something in it, yeah, yourself. Yeah, don't blame other politicians. Don't make blanket judgment that about politician, because it doesn't take you anywhere. If you want any changes in your community, if you want any changes in your council or in your country, you have to get involved. Yeah, you have to take some membership of some political party that you believe in. Yeah, it's up to on your beliefs. Yeah, on your, this is your call. You have to be very hard to do with independent, becoming independent. Yeah, you can't reach because there is no support mechanism. So you find your best party that you want to. In my case, I found Labour Party, and I still am 100% with Labour Party's belief and desire for changes. And that's what my message is. Do something in your community as a young person. Think of supporting people. Yeah, don't, there is no point spending your hours and hours with your laptop and with your tablets and with your mobile. There is a world out there. there's there's more than a digital world. There is a real world out there. Yeah, where it rains, where it's sunshine. You can't cope in a bedroom and just play with your machine. That's not life. Yeah, make friends, do something in your community. Community requires people, young people, to bring changes, to be the future leader of the country. Yeah, so join a scout, join a league or group, join a sport group, yeah, join a debate group. You may recall, I was also part of a group called BBSC in Croydon, and they invited young people as a debate team, and there
Just
was
Mr. Kabir, just one of our viewers, he said, "Good show, nice to see." So Sadia Islam, she shared this message to us.
thank you, thank you, thank you, Sadia. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, um, this young people need to get involved in project. Could be a green project, could be a eco project, something to do with environment, something to do with keeping our street clean. That could be a street champion. So many opportunities for young people to get involved, you know and I can give them number of lists and number of contact details, where they can start. Yeah. Yeah, and take it up from there. I
This,
invite.
this is the things. Just one thing I want to say, very important thing. In if you look at this, our young people, you exactly said the right thing. Most of the time we stay inside, and yes, it's a digital life. We need mobiles and all these things, but we waste so much time actually in the games and all
Yeah,
these things, and ultimately we're not going to learn anything actually, and sometimes we had seen is going to be divert in the wrong way actually, and there
yeah,
is number. I want to share one experience. One of my friends, she was a local people, and she used to work, and during the 2014 floods she did so much hard work in the community, and people liked her so much. I worked with her that time, number of weeks and all these things, and through that, she became the counselor. They realized that she is the right person for us because the time of need she were there. So exactly what is it, the cleanings and all these kind of things. So that's why, like, they need to take this initiative, and same time there is a family community, they have some responsibility also to encourage. I remember a couple of years back I met with a counselor. I think she's from Pakistani background, and I think it was a record in this country. She became counselor while she was 16 or 17, you know and there is
right.
a number of young people in our community who has lots of potentiality to lead the community and the country. So from that point of view, um, what is the first step they should take to get in?
Before they take the first step, we as a parent, we need to have that conversation with our young person. Yeah, because being parents, being a teacher, being, we need to make them welcome and introduced to the environment. Yeah, we need to take them to jumble sale, for example. We need to take them to the park. And if we see the park is dirty, then we should ask a question to ourselves: why this is park is dirty? Why the litter was not picked? And then we need to do something with them, maybe an email, maybe a phone call, to make that small change. So changes begins at home. Yeah, parent has a responsibility, and you have noticed that when we did this New Year parade from Croydon, you have
Yes,
seen how many young people
yes,
participated in this project. Because my aim was to involve them, and give them a platform, give the opportunity to show their skills. These young people, they have been doing their musical show or dance or vocal singing in their own community. But we said, no, let's get all together. We did again in Fairfield Hall, when we did our Croydon concert. We involved about 22 different community groups to come in one platform and um, deliver their piece with well-known groups. So new versus well-known groups. So these are the opportunity as a politician I looked for, and I invite other councillors to do the same. And also through your this program, through this evening's program, I like to invite the young people to think about politics. When you see the news, you see some. I can understand why people are frustrated when they listen to Donald Trump. You know, they think, God, what he's saying, what he's doing. Then we had Barack Obama only few years ago. So we can't be despair about it. Some good one will come, some not so good one will come, but question is, what are you doing about yourself? How are you contributing into this society, in this world where you are, to bring a change? I understand everybody is not going to be the politician. I do understand some. We need bankers, we need doctors, we need barristers, we need teachers, we need scientists. We know that, but we like to see some people also taking politics seriously. So they study politics. Maybe when they go to university, they can do political science or political history and understand politics better and take the lead to run the country. That's what
You
I.
actually you got the good example about the Barack Obama, and might be you know as well. While he was a student in school, he said, "I want to be a president." So
Yeah,
somehow he had a dream.
he had a
So
dream.
he had a dream, but that time he didn't know how to get it.
That's
But
right.
somehow his the inner heart was pushing him to move on. That's why we have to see the dream. Not only see the dream, we have to work on that. And especially this is I have we have discussed with one of our guests, especially for the who is from the Asian background. We have always the negative things about the politics, the civil service like the police and armies and all these things because
Yeah,
of what you see all these things in the media. And when we look at back in back home, because most of politicians and these people they're corrupted, so that's why they think that if my son or my daughter will go there, he or she will be one of them. That's why they try to take them out from those things. So that's why like what you have done is really amazing. You created an example actually, so there's responsibility for the politician also to encourage them, to show them what is the bright side. Because if what you said, like most of the time the young people they're sitting at home, they're watching these televisions and all these things, so obviously there's a negative thing um, will be created in their mind. So there is lots of responsibility for the politician also, because you are mayor as a councillor or whoever going to be the MP, they will not be there forever. Someone has to take the place, and
that's right.
if they don't create and they don't give opportunity to the right people, obviously go to the wrong people.
Exactly. So that's why when I was working as a mayor, I called this group my knife crime, safety. Yeah, looking at safety in Croydon. So I had about 10, 11 young people looking at the knife crime. So we did this seminar. We invited people from different walk of life. uh, we invited young people. We invited people who are already in criminal justice system. Now they are not, so they finished their time. So they came out to speak to young people. We invited professionals, parents, and we had a big conversation how to reduce knife crime in Croydon. And what we agreed was that unfortunately it didn't happen due to COVID. This year would have been running few programs in schools, more conversation with earlier younger people like year 7, 8, 9. We need to talk to them. We need to encourage them and give them some good example, and give them some bad example as well. What happens when you get involved with knife or knife crime or drugs or any other elements that will hinder your progress in life. So as a result, I'm hoping when we don't have no less COVID restriction, we can continue some of this work.
Yeah. That's really amazing. So I want to request all our viewers and who's watching today, please share our programs. And so far, what I have learned from him, the way he came out from this, all this, I would say, not difficult, the challenges, and he became the councillor and the mayor, is that there are lots of things we could do and we could implement in our life. It doesn't matter what is your age and where you're from. There's always space to improve yourself. So please share our program, and we'll go for a short break, few seconds, and then we'll come back. Thank you.
স্বনামধন্য প্রতিষ্ঠান ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং দিচ্ছে ২৪ অক্টোবর পর্যন্ত সকল A1, A2, B1 এবং লাইফ ইন দ্য ইউকে কোর্সেসে 50% ডিসকাউন্ট। আজই ভর্তি হয়ে ৩০০ পাউন্ড বাঁচান এবং আগামী ৫ বছরের যে কোনো সময় পরীক্ষায় অংশ নিন। আপনি যে কোনো শহরে থেকেই এই ট্রেনিং নিতে পারেন, তার জন্য আপনাকে কলেজে আসতে হবে না। বিস্তারিত জানতে ফোন করুন ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং 0207 096 1188। লন্ডন মুসলিম সেন্টার হোয়াইট চ্যাপেলে আব্দুল হক চৌধুরীর নেতৃত্বে ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং ব্রিটেনে দক্ষতায় যোগ্যতায় হাজারো মানুষের জীবনে পরিবর্তন এনেছে। ইসল A1, A2, B1, B2 এবং লাইফ ইন দ্য ইউকের জন্য আজই ফোন করুন। আপনার রেস্টুরেন্টে ফুড অ্যান্ড হাইজিন রেটিং 5 পেতে আমরা সাহায্য করি। ফুড সেফটি, হেলথ অ্যান্ড সেফটি এবং ফার্স্ট এইডে রয়েছে আমাদের বিশেষ কোর্স। ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং, ফোন 0207 096 1188।
Welcome back to our show, all our viewers. We today we have a guest, the former mayor of the Croydon, Councillor Humayun Kabir. What we have heard, he came to this country as a young man. He went for the study. He done the business. He became the councillor, and he became the mayor. There's a lots of things he had done last almost 50 years. So nothing happened overnight, and there is number of people in our community and the society from different backgrounds, and they have lots of the potentiality, and they could do something, because we need the good people who can do something, who can make a change in our society. And that's why we need you, but we need some guidance, we need some example, and this is an example we have today, the Mr. Kabir. Welcome back, Mr. Kabir.
Thank you.
So this is the main thing what we really want to know. Once you became the mayor of Croydon from Asian background, obviously there's not many actually, I think, the mayor from the Asian background. You became it, you did made us really proud. So once you became a mayor, what was your dream, your motive, and your vision that time?
Right. First thing I said that I want to include people in the town hall. Now, you touched on earlier that once somebody become a mayor, they think that's it. You know, untouchable, unreachable. You know, I had the opposite vision. I said I like to
We
be the
know
mayor
that.
of everyone. Okay, so I did a list of the community that make up of the town. Yeah, and usually there are 70, 80 different communities, but the prominent one are say roughly about 30. And I made a list and I said, look, I need to engage with this community. Yeah.
We can
So
see we can see some pictures there behind the screen, and people would know that how you rolled as a. We can see you with the kids in the school, and obviously you were very sporty as well, same time.
thank you. Yeah. So I took the opportunity to visit those communities, invite them to the town hall, and some of them said they didn't know where the town hall was because
That's
nobody contacted them, and they are a group themselves. They're trying to do something, whether it's faith or community groups or running a luncheon club for community, because they said, we deal with officers. Yeah. I asked them, few of them, tell me the name of the leader of the council. Do you know them? Have you met them? And they weren't able to tell all
Also,
those.
we can see a really beautiful picture with the prince, I think.
Very interesting conversation was going on that moment. He
Yeah.
was asking me, how is Croydon now? And suddenly he asked me that. And then I thought, why is saying now? And then I realized he's linking. Last time he visited Croydon, it was 2011 when there was a riot in Croydon. So he came after the riot to see the aftermath of the riot. So all those broken glass, all those burned buildings he saw, and then he went and so that
Within his
vision
mind.
in
Yeah.
his mind and asking. So I was able to tell him that Croydon has moved in a lot. I was able to tell him that now Croydon has got a very good community emerged for last 10 12 years, working in the community to build Croydon as a place of business, because we had a very big business plan. And in that conversation, Westfield came up, because there is a plan for Croydon to Westfield to open their town shopping center, which is on hold at the moment, yeah, due to economical fall and COVID and all that. So I was able to talk about Westfield, but I was able to tell him that we are doing an university campus in 2021, which is London South Bank University is coming to
Yeah.
Croydon from next few months time. Yeah. So we have identified a building for them, and they're just renovating it right now. So they will
Fabulous.
hopefully start taking student in next few months. So I was able to talk about Croydon Fairfield Hall reopening. I was, after 40 years, after spending more than 40 million pound, I was able to talk about the East Croydon expansion of the regeneration work in East Croydon, including having a nice modern East Croydon station, the plan the British Rail has, and all that. So I was able to tell him good thing about Croydon, and he was really impressed. And he said, "Oh, thank God that you moved on, and I'm pleased." You know, so that's how that's my conversation
So
was.
he was really impressed by your
Impressed,
service,
yeah,
and you were lucky actually to share the all the positive
all the
things
positive
with
things about
with
Croydon.
him. So
And
that's really amazing. And once you became a mayor, we know that you have a number of specific projects to get a better community, and we would like to know and all these things from you,
yes,
please.
sure. Well, one of the thing I thought, coming from business background, that I want to support the local businesses. So I organized meetings. I visited almost, I think, about 100 different businesses in Croydon. I used to take one of my deputy cabinet member for economic development, and would visit retail businesses, talk to them, find out their problem, invite them town hall, make sure they're heard by the officers, action taken to resolve their problem. So supporting businesses was one of my key theme as well. Then I had another important theme was supporting mental health people in our town. Yeah. So we did, again, we did seminar, we did workshop, we invited all the service provider, we invited the community, and had a big conversation, what is out there, what is needed, and what should be done in next couple of years to overcome any issues that we found out through our conference discussion. So all this were taking place while I was doing my usual 500, almost 500 events for the year. I think I did 460 in 9 months
Oh, it's
events,
amazing.
and all those themes, all those conversation at the same time. and I was getting help from my ambassadors. So I take the opportunity to thank all my ambassadors, and you are one of my ambassador as well.
Thank
And
you.
I
Yeah,
thank you.
all of them actually. They done really
They really
amazing
stand
work.
out. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was away for a week, well, actually, away for a couple of weeks in February. And while my ambassadors were running around to make our Fairfield fundraising successful. Yeah. So it's really amazing because although I was the mayor, but a lot of people were empowered and valued to support me, to support my cause, and they didn't think that it is my cause. They thought it's their and our cause. That made the
And
difference.
this
So
is the things actually what we should do. We should share the power actually and the
yeah,
opportunity. And what we have seen, you done the another things like in the screen, the mayor's award to appreciate and encourage the all the local businesses. What you just
that's
had
right.
seen,
Yeah,
and it was really the amazing idea and to encourage them. And you had some other projects as also, I think, the for the communities also, knife
yeah,
crime.
yeah. Knife crime, mental health, business opportunity, and the work with the homeless and COVID. That's
Mm. Yeah,
another
we'll come
conversation.
back. We'll come back later. And
But
same time,
before we come
how
back,
people like, how was
sorry,
the response you got from all the five projects
yeah,
you had?
yeah, it was great because we were able to feed all this in the council cabinet members. We invited them as well, so they can listen to people. They can, it actually it enforce their vision and thoughts. It help, it encourage them to take right decision. And
Mm.
obviously you can't change everything overnight, it takes
Yeah.
time, but the conversation started. That's the main thing.
Mm.
And a lot of people got involved and they want to support. That's the big thing. And while I was doing all this, um, I raised about 50,000 pounds, actually
You
more
had,
than
I think,
50,000.
you had five charities
Five,
to,
yeah, I
yeah.
chose five charities from Croydon, and I'll mention them quickly because I'm sure some of them could be watching. One was Croydon Vision, Minds in Croydon, Apasen in Croydon, and Croydon Day Refugee Center, and Ashton Jazz Academy. Yeah, these are the five charities, and I'll be handing out hopefully check maybe in November, and they should do things that they wanted to do. It will help them to take a couple of extra step to reach their goal and give additional service to their users.
Yeah, that's really the great the initiative by you, and we know that actually 1 year is not enough actually to get the full result. And I hope you will still carry on all this service. And I think it created a link between the mayor office and the public, and those issues actually was a really is happen in our daily life, the domestic violence, the knife crimes, all this kind of thing. But not many people came out and talk about these things. And also
That's
the charities you had, you were supported actually. They did really amazing work. The local borough.
Yes, and my theme was connected to some of the charities as well. So it enhancing them to take further step, to take another step to establish their cause or their service. For example, when I supported Mind, I asked them, if you receive £10,000 or £11,000, what would you do? And they said, "Oh, at the moment we don't do any support on Saturday to our clients because of the shortage of staff or funding. So we can run maybe a part time for maybe it takes 2 year service and one is established, we can look for further funding. So they will hope, they agreed, saying that they will start something on Saturday for their client group. So that's how I connected my charities with my teams. Now,
So,
talking of making a change, what I want to say is this: that still we have issues in our community, that we are not getting involved in police service or military service. Yeah, our next generation, if we want to see our community in right places, we need to encourage our children to get into, could be Air Force or in Army or in the police, in the fire service, in the ambulance services, and I'm sending a message through this program. Let's talk to make a change. Encourage your children to do something different. I know all parents, they want their children to be doctor and barrister and solicitor. This is the phenomena of our community. But also, the young people might have a different interest. Talk to them what really they want to be. Okay. I know as a parent, as a Asian parents or as a BME parents, sometimes parents don't give chance to their young ones, ask them properly what they want to do. So, and sometimes it can backfires. Yeah, if you put your choice onto their head, saying no, 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 you need to do this or you need to become this, it doesn't work sometimes. So we need to give our children a choice what they really want to be. Yeah. So
yeah,
my
this is,
message to your viewer: please
yeah,
give them a choice. Give young
yeah.
people a choice.
Thanks for your message. But what you said is really important thing. Sometimes we try, the parents, they try to push their dreams. We
Yeah.
can change. Yes, everyone has a dream. You want your daughter or your son will be this and that. But what we do actually, when they grow up, any dream. But when they're like 18, then say, oh, you have to be this. So they think like, oh, they're ordering me or they try to push. So that's why we grow up, we have to give them some choice to tell them the good side and bad side. This is the way they will know what they want. Yes, might be the son, maybe he couldn't be a good doctor, but maybe he could be a good teacher. So that's
Exactly.
why I think as a senior citizen, as a community leader, to take some initiative to encourage our parents, because sometimes obviously when they came as an immigrant or from the BME, they don't have this really hard life these days. So you could do something for parents to guide them actually.
Yes, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I always talk to parents, and my background was, while I was working for Tower Hamlets, I was a manager for a parenting team. So I was running parenting program, and in my groups, I always advocate to give parents. Parents must give choice to their children. Explain different things, but they should make up mind, not the parents, because sometimes children knows what they're good at. If
Yeah.
one person is not good at maths, you can't force him to do maths, because then he will do it, but then again later he will just give up.
Yeah. So obviously I spent a year actually as a mayor. So what was the most challenge you had faced that time to become a successful? And also, we want to know more positive things. We want to know your achievement as a mayor of Croydon, which is might be hope going to be encourage us to make the change.
Right. Well, the challenging bit was in March when the COVID lockdown came.
Mm.
Suddenly, the whole country came to a standstill. Yeah. So, as a mayor, naturally, our work was suspended because we can't meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. There was no event. So, what I did was, I felt that in this challenging time, I should be going out and supporting my community. So, with bit of precaution, I started going to food banks, encouraging them, supporting them, and started with a group, BBSC group. I'm sure you are familiar, British
Yeah,
Bangladeshi Society in Croydon. I encouraged them to start a food bank, and as a community group, we managed to start, just first or second week in April, and they ran this food bank for 6 months. Yeah. And I was there always with giving my time voluntarily and giving them facilities and moral support. So, and visited all the food, almost all the food bank in my town. And then that was not enough. I felt that there was a gap to provide hot food to certain communities, certain people. So I started something called Benshammena Food Kitchen. And still we are doing it every Friday between 5 to 6 p.m. We offer cooked food to people who lives in my wards called Benshammena Wards in Queen's Community Hall, where they will come and they will take a takeaway pack and go home and eat some cooked food with their children. So these are the work that I did, in COVID. I made sure with my community connection and with my community work that we fed the NHS staff and doctors in Mayday Hospital. We took a 15 weeks program, yeah, with them in the midst of the pandemic. We provided around 200 meals on every Wednesday in all sites in Croydon, all medical sites in Croydon, rotationally, but in the main hospital every week in Croydon University Hospital every Wednesday, and along with we cover another site, another medical site. That's how we did. I encourage business community to come forward, community groups to come forward, and provide this food and acknowledge the hard work the key worker, the hospital staff are doing for the community.
so obviously it was a big challenge for everyone, and obviously as a mayor it was a really big challenge. But what
Yeah,
that I had a chance to work with you, and that time I had seen how you manage, and the community, actually the people, they're really supportive, because with one man you can't do anything if people will not support. But you
that's
had
right.
this thing, so this is the proof actually that people really liked you if they will have more than a year position, as a mayor.
Yeah.
And
I would consider myself, I was very lucky, at least getting the 9 months. Can you imagine?
yeah,
You know, if I was the mayor now, hardly any movement, hardly, it's nothing like what we did
true,
year ago. There's so
true.
many restriction, you know. So in that sense, although I got 9 months, active 9 months, but I consider myself lucky achieving all this, meeting all these people, meeting all this community, meeting all these faith group, community groups, you know. And another thing made sure that we respected different communities is town hall. Yeah. So what I did was, so if there was a anniversary or Independence Day of a country, I would raise the flag in the town hall and have a reception for them. So that is what I feel that that's how we, at least we should do that to welcome our community in Croydon, so they feel they have access to town hall. They feel that politician acknowledging them, their existence, and as a mayor, I am also acknowledging them at the same time for their contribution in my town. So
Yeah,
there were about 18 different flag raising took place in last in my mayoral year.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really amazing. And actually, we what we can see actually, you open the door for everyone because it's a multicultural society where people from various background, colors, and the faith, and you are a mayor actually um, for people. It doesn't matter where they're from, what their
That's
background,
right.
and we hope actually they would carry on the legacy of Mr. the Councillor, the Humayun Kabir, and people would feel that most welcome. And not only that, that you visited all the people, and different occasions and all these type of things when they have, my mayor really took some initiative to celebrate my, the independence dance and all these kind of things. They feel really great, and it will create a strong bond actually, and we hope not only that you would carry on this legacy, and you're going to spread and encourage other people to do something, to make a change. And just slightly different, we want to move that during your mayoral time also you visited back home in your native country in Bangladesh.
Yeah,
So we want to know the experience as a mayor while you visited in Bangladesh.
it was very welcoming. I was welcomed by the foreign secretary, by the speaker of Bangladesh Parliament, my local MP planning minister. I attended meetings with them. We had a discussion about how to work together. We had a lot of reception from local chairman, and in Cllr, so lots of charity work. The time, 2 weeks flew just like that. I wish I had more time, and I had number of friends who visited with me from UK. They're from Croydon as well, community leaders, and we had a very nice, very fruitful time. It's a friendship between Croydon and Bangladesh, and that's where I come from, and it was really welcoming.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can see lots of people welcoming you and
yeah,
Mrs. Mayor as well. Where
yeah.
was it?
This is the Khadim, the chairman, the local chairman, and he's welcoming us in Sylhet. Uh, in Khadim, in his constituency. And yeah, it was an amazing function. Almost 1,000 people were there, and foreign secretary also joined, and it's amazing. And the chairman name is Advocate Afsar Uddin, and yeah, so it's a very good uh, experience in back home.
So I think obviously the your people there feel really proud when they had seen as a mayor. You know. So one thing what we have discussed little bit
Yes.
about this the your service during your service about the COVID-19. So we want to know that exactly the during the pandemic time, the lockdown time, and after lockdown time, how much service you had and what you were doing actually to raise awareness for the local people and how you are helping the people.
Well, to start with, I remember doing a first video inviting people not to panic, not to do the panic shopping. Yeah. Because I felt that by doing this panic shopping, yeah, you are emptying the shelf unnecessarily. And then the second message that I sent was to stay safe, wash hand, all those things. And then I was in touch with community groups, uh, sometime through Zoom, sometime over the phone, sometime physically, ensuring that they are aware of the current situation. uh, I was in touch with the CEO and the chairman of the NHS Trust, finding out exactly what is going on, how they are coping, giving them encouragement, thanking the staff. visiting hospital, visiting other clinics, and supporting the team, the Croydon team, that are making sure that they are meeting the need of the community. Our mace bearer, Nick
Yeah,
Evans,
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
yeah, he was, because I didn't needed the mayor's car anymore because I was not doing any official visits.
Mm.
So he was able to provide food to 70 families every day.
And he was
Those
very
were
active at
shielding.
the time to helping the
Yeah, in
people.
the pandemic time,
Mm.
um, who are shielding, because somebody need to give them the
Help.
prescription
Yeah.
or the food, you know and that's what we did. We It was a challenge.
Mm.
We worked with our local MP Steve Reed, local organization, the chairman you can see here from BBSC, providing food to Croydon University Hospital.
Yeah. And also,
Shah
Chris
Jalal
is there
Monch also
also.
provided food. Local other community groups also provided food. Businesses provided food. You know, there is amazingly, what brought out is the kindness, the support for the community. Going in the evening, in the night watch, giving food. This is with our local MP Sarah Jones, visiting night watch, encouraging them, thanking them for their hard work. There are local groups also supporting them, and so it's a work to complement, it's a work to implement some of the thing. It's a work to be brave. It's work to say thank you to our um, wider community and service provider, showing our love, care, and gratitude for them.
And
So it's a
also,
great.
actually, this is, we always say, when you have a tough time, you will know who is your true friend.
That's
And
right.
this is the time actually we know that who is our true leader, who is our good neighbors, and who is our true friend. Because obviously, what you said, you raised this, the awareness. People are in the panic. They don't know exactly what they have to do, what they should do. But as a leader, you came out, you helped them, and you stay with them. Most of the you didn't leave them.
That's right. Yeah, and I feel very blessed, getting a lot of support from the community, from friends group, from ambassadors. Yeah, so it's an amazing experience. It's amazing experience, and still things happening. Still doing things where I can. Considering the restriction and all that. Still, I have got. I need to visit at least 5 food banks next week. I've got staff for them. I need to deliver. Make sure they are is reaching them. So still doing coordination here and there wherever I can. But obviously in a careful manner.
Yes, obviously, and oh, you had a really busy time actually while you were the mayor. So how's your life once you became like not mayor anymore? You had
Yeah,
some change, or you're missing those days? I think because that time we had seen day and night. You were in and out, giving time while you have a family. Yes, I think now how you spending your time?
yeah, this is the opportunity to spend the time with the family. It is an opportunity to look back and think, oh, thank God we did this, and then opportunity to think what we can do next. There is, when you if you are in the community, there's always something to do. There is always, you get opportunity to support your wider community. And yeah, so yeah, almost very good relaxing time. But now I'm planning what I'm going to do next couple of years, which direction I should be taking. And and time will tell.
Yeah.
I'm spending a lot of time with the community as much as I can, considering the restriction. And yeah, and
And also during your mayoral time, one of you had a big achievement. The borough of Croydon became the I think is
Culture,
culture of
yeah,
the year.
cultural bora of
Yeah.
2023. So it
Mm.
means that we are preparing to the Borough of Culture in 2023. We would have additional funding to bring culture, more culture, and more,
Mm.
cultural life in Croydon. Yes, so we are looking
And
forward.
also the Westfield, I think they're coming to Croydon and investing a big amount of money to develop the local
That's
place.
right. This is the plan. But only thing is that at the moment it is
Mm.
on a hold. So I don't want to
Mm.
say too much about it, because I think as soon as COVID is
Mm.
over, and maybe the conversation will start. Yeah. So
So yes,
we are looking.
hopefully we'll overcome it, And
Yes,
the main
of
thing
course,
is
definitely
actually
we have to be
most of
very.
our people we are in the panic, and we are not aware about these things. What we should do. I was asking one of my friend. He's from the Italy. He was saying here we are not following that much the rules and regulations, and this is the main thing. So
uh,
hopefully, through the community like you, people will follow these rules and regulations and support each other. This is the most important thing actually. Support each other, your family, your friends, your neighbors, and also we should be grateful to our all this the NHS staffs, the police,
yeah.
and all the fire people. But one thing, it is our last debate. Obviously, you were a mayor. You were a mayor. You were a councillor, and you were a politician. And all these things you were doing voluntarily. And what is the great initiative you had while you became the mayor? The ambassador projects, and there we can see they're all in the meeting, and they're all done voluntarily. They spend number of times, from their life. They have a family. They have a job. So do you have the message for all the volunteers, not only for your ambassador and other volunteers, because we don't give priority to the volunteer service. We think, oh, there is no money. So why we go and just spend the time? I am the volunteer during this time, the lockdown time. I was one of the frontline volunteer with the NHS. Yes, it was a big challenge for me because while I can see every lots of negative things, but I realized that this is the time because country needs me, and this is the way actually people can improve. So, what is your guidance and the message for the volunteers, all these
uh,
ambassadors?
Thank you. What I saw during this pandemic and during my mayoral year is when I meet these volunteers and my ambassadors. When I look at them, I see some of them can easily become a counselor with a little bit of training, with a little bit of help, with a little bit of enthusiasm, with a little bit of push, with a little bit of know-how. I see them; they can be a very good. Some of them can be very good counselors. Yeah. So my message is to them: consider yourself what you're doing now. If you want to take one step extra, one step more,
We can see all this. Most of your ambassadors are here, so
yes,
they're all the stars, I would say.
yeah, some of them are here. I have more, but yeah. So what we can do is some of them could be very good counselors. So I will encourage them to explore, and I'm happy to run a session on how to become a counselor. Why? Why you want to be a counselor, or how you become a counselor? I can put these two questions together, and I'm happy to run a 1 hour session in Zoom. Yeah, and whoever is interested can take the first step, second step, and third step, and put their name forward in future to do something. So that's one message for them. Second message is that although voluntary work doesn't pay you financially, but being a volunteer myself, I know that when I offer my service to a vulnerable person, I know that I'll have a good night's sleep, because I am self satisfied in this belief that I have done a good deed today. I did something to make someone's smile or comfort. So that is why I think volunteers volunteer. They do to please their inner souls. Yeah. And those who are in strong faith, they do to please their God.
Yeah, we say charity began at home, so that's why the
That's right.
family,
That's
they
right.
should encourage these things. And it's not only be like the volunteering to become a counselor. You can be a volunteer in your local community, in your
Of
local
course.
hospital, lots of
Local
things.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know.
that is the reason I was able to appreciate more than 150 people with an appreciation certificate for their work in Croydon before I finished my mayoral term. I did the photo you are showing now. It was one of those photos where I got people together. I can't invite everybody in one go, so I had to do stage by stage, in different way, to appreciate their help to the community. Yeah, to appreciate their help to my team, to appreciate their help to achieve what I have achieved. It is not easy to raise £50,000 in a when economic climate is not in your favor, but we managed. And volunteers, they had a big role to play,
Mm.
and that's why I like to thank all the volunteers, all my ambassadors for their hard work
Yeah,
and
we can see
helping.
you have a little fan as well with the kids.
Yes,
Mm.
yes, of course.
Yeah. So
Yes,
this is the main thing else, and also uh, what we could do actually for our community, because one day, we should take a step to move forward, and
yeah,
that's why we need more people like you, who could come forward, encourage them, help them, because obviously it was a great, again I'm repeating, it was a great initiative, the ambassador projects, because you said that this person could be a potential counselor or could be a leader, but maybe he or she doesn't know, or that not have much content, but once they work with you, they gain this confidence, and
yeah,
because the environment, it will give them a hope that I could do something. you know so out of all the, you are a family man as well, so we'd like to know something little bit different, like we want to know about your hobby, what you like, what you do in your free time, what kind of
right.
food or sports do you like.
Okay. Yeah, of course. My favorite food is king prawn shag with takadal.
Mm, mm,
Anytime I can go to a restaurant and enjoy that. And my hobby is playing badminton, but due to COVID, it's a bit difficult at the moment because the courts are not open. So what I do is every day I promise myself that I make walk with my wife 10,000 steps. 10,000 step a day. That's my minimum aim. Sometimes I do 15, sometimes I do 12. So I spend 1 hour, minimum 1 hour in the park. Today I did from 3 to 4.
that is
So
amazing.
yeah, so we need to stay alert, we need to stay safe, and we need to stay fit to do, because at the moment, because I'm worried going to shopping center, in town center, so most of the shopping is done by online. We should be careful, so I'm giving a message. Yes, go to town center, but not every day.
But
Yeah.
but Mr. Mel, just before end, we want to give a special thanks. We know that behind successful man there's a woman, and who is Mrs. Rahana Kabir. So we'd like to give a special thanks because she is always supporting you. I think you have how long? 37, 38 years.
Yes,
You
right,
know,
of course,
so you
yes.
have a happy family, and also is an example for all of us. For the young people, how they could do this and as a family man, and why
Yeah.
support with the wife. So special thanks to her.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll relay that. And I like to also acknowledge her contribution in my mayoral year and beyond, and and before and after. She is the backbone of the family. She's managing so many things. And also I'm very pleased to say that you know we work very closely as a couple. So if I go out. Usually, she has visited she has accompanied me about 300 times last year.
Okay.
When I did 450, so it means she was there about 70% of the time
Yeah.
with me.
So
So thank you
so
to her.
we need more support and sharing each other. So,
Yes.
Mr. The Kabir, we are really grateful for your time. We said 1 hour, but it's more than that. We want to hear you more. So special thanks to you to attend my show and share your experience. And we hope people will learn, from your experience. And I hope also our young people, they're going to implement your experience in their life to change their life in the positive way. So we want to hear the message from you, please.
Please, we know that COVID should be COVID-20 now. COVID is the spike is going high. London in alert basically every day. The number is going up, and we must take responsibility by ourselves. Please stay away from big gathering. Government's rule is you shouldn't be visiting other families. Please maintain, stay safe. I know we are doing all those things, but we need to take extra care. For example, at this week, I bought things online. Yeah, I had a choice of going to town center. Yeah, but I know if I go to town center, there will be people around me. Yeah, so we need to stay safe. So I'm not discouraging you to go to town center, but go when you need to go, not for everything. Or if you want to go once a week, do your shopping list, go and buy stuff from town center, but don't go every day. Yeah, you need to maintain social distancing. And finally, I want to thank you and your producers and your viewers for their encouragement and for watching us. And I wish them all the best, all the success. I ask them to pray for me for my good health and for future.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we this is not end. We need you more and more, you know, to make a change, to guide to guide me and guide all the young people, because you done lots of hard work and you are a true example, live example for us. And I hope everyone will gonna follow your path, your legacy. And thanks again. Thank you very much to attend my show. And hopefully people are going to be benefited. And also I want to give a special thanks to Sunrise Today and the people who works behind the camera. And this is our request to all of you who going to miss this program. Please watch it, share it, and try to help each other. This is the time, because it's pandemic time. We are suffering, but we can make a change. How we could do it? We have to support each other. We have to, even if you can't visit, you can call your friends, your family, just to know that how they are. But the most important thing is, please don't panic. Be careful, be sensible, but don't panic. Try to support each other. This is the what we had seen from the mayor service during the lockdown time. He took this initiative to support the community, and this is the way they survive. And this is the actually like our testing time for all of us. It doesn't matter where we are from, what country, what background. We are all a human, and we are living in a country. So it is really important to support each other and be positive. So thanks again, for your time to watch my show, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
স্বনামধন্য প্রতিষ্ঠান ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং দিচ্ছে 24 অক্টোবর পর্যন্ত সকল A1, A2, B1 এবং লাইফ ইন দ্য ইউকে কোর্সেসে 50% ডিসকাউন্ট। আজই ভর্তি হয়ে 300 পাউন্ড বাঁচান এবং আগামী 5 বছরের যে কোনো সময় পরীক্ষায় অংশ নিন। আপনি যে কোনো শহরে থেকেই এই ট্রেনিং নিতে পারেন, তার জন্য আপনাকে কলেজে আসতে হবে না। বিস্তারিত জানতে ফোন করুন ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং 0207 096 1188। লন্ডন মুসলিম সেন্টার হোয়াইটচ্যাপেলে আব্দুল হক চৌধুরীর নেতৃত্বে ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং ব্রিটেনে দক্ষতায় যোগ্যতায় হাজারো মানুষের জীবনে পরিবর্তন এনেছে। ইসল A1, A2, B1, B2 এবং লাইফ ইন দ্য ইউকের জন্য আজই ফোন করুন। আপনার রেস্টুরেন্টে ফুড অ্যান্ড হাইজিন রেটিং 5 পেতে আমরা সাহায্য করি। ফুড সেফটি, হেলথ অ্যান্ড সেফটি এবং ফার্স্ট এইডে রয়েছে আমাদের বিশেষ কোর্স। ইস্টার্ন ট্রেনিং, ফোন 0207 096 1188।